You're about to see the prettiest nose slide that has ever existed on YouTube. Oh, well. I'm going to be talking today about advice I would give someone in their 20s, 30s, maybe even 40s, 50s, thinking about getting back into skateboarding or getting into skateboarding for the first time. People in that age demographic who are thinking about getting into skateboarding. I think so many of us gave skateboarding up for various life reasons, whether it be avoiding injuries, whether it be just busyness or other hobbies. And I think we're at that age where we're looking for things to keep us healthy, things to keep us active. And I think, yeah, a lot of people are just thinking about skateboarding as a cool alternative hobby. You know, you don't need a team of people to go out and play a game to play like a lot of sports you do. You can just kind of go out and do it yourself and have fun. So I think it makes a lot of sense for people like me to pick it up. I started skateboarding again as an adult at 27. I'm now 34 years old. I was on and off skateboarding through those years because of injury. One video I'd recommend watching is a video I'm going to link in the description below, where I literally just show all my video clips that I've recorded from 27 years old to 34 years old. Pretty fun to watch and see how I progressed as a skater. But I'm going to get some warm up in. I'm going to get some skating, warm my body up, and then we'll talk some more. Probably going to do a little flat ground mixed in with some curb stuff. I'm not really going to be systematic with the warm up today. Let's do a no slide. Oh. Let's see if we can get a little more height on that 180. My 180s are still so ugly. If you have any 180s, frontside 180 tips for me, I'd gladly accept them. Should I talk while skating? Should I run through my points of advice for an adult skater while I'm actually skating? Maybe that'd be more enjoyable to watch than me sitting down and talking. Oh, that's not good. Oh, there it is. That felt good. I kind of tweaked downward a little bit too. All right, here we go. All right, we'll take that. All right, I think we're gonna get kickflip second try today. What do you say? Second try kickflip? Oh, that was horrible. There we go. Decent, decent, decent. Point number one. Skate around, not just learning tricks, but actually just skating and getting comfortable on your board. Because a lot of people, I used to teach, so I do teach middle school art, and I used to have an after-school skateboard club, and a lot of the kids just wanted to learn how to ollie, and I've seen that with adults as well, just wanting to learn tricks. And I'm gonna wax up this curb a little bit. Really wanting to learn tricks, especially the cool stuff like, forgot my wax. No, here it is. Wanting to learn tricks, especially the really cool stuff like kickflips, ollies, shove it, all that stuff. And they kind of just like stay in a static spot, and they just kind of, even sometimes they'd like hold on to something like a rail or hold on to the fence and try to get comfortable doing ollies and things like that. It's so much more important to get comfortable rolling around on the skateboard, to get comfortable, spend time on your board, doing even simple stuff like tic-tacs, kick turns, things like that is going to be way more valuable for making you a better skater. It's going to look different depending on who you are and where you live. So I have mentioned on the channel, I used to live in Brooklyn, New York. I actually spent a lot of time commuting on the skateboard. Riding my board to and from the subway, riding my board to work every day. And that was huge for me gaining balance, for getting more comfortable on the board. Living here in Asheville, North Carolina, that was completely different. Like, roads don't have sidewalks here. You can't walk around here really. You have to drive places. So spending time on my skateboard might look like parking at a strip mall parking lot and just like skating around and cruising. And I think even if that feels silly, just skating around a parking lot or skating around a basketball court like this, it might feel silly, but it's still really, really important and teaches you a lot of basics. So tic-tacs, for example, I'm going to show you what a tic-tac is. It's just simply lifting up the nose of the board and turning left and right. A tool like that is so valuable for being able to get out of situations on your skateboard, for being able to just feel like you have control of the skateboard. So that's point number one. Also, another reason I'm making this video, let me get a no slide here. Oh, it's still pretty sticky. Another reason I'm making this video is I've seen a lot of these videos giving advice to people trying to start skateboarding again as an adult. And it's advice given from the perspective of like professional level skateboarders who've never stopped skateboarding their entire life. And I kind of think those people and those YouTube channels have forgotten a lot of the challenges with skateboarding again as an adult. Whereas I picked the skateboard back up at 27 years old. So I feel like, and I also feel like I'm a very average skater. So I feel like I'm giving a little more of a fair perspective of things that are important to keep in mind. All right, I'm gonna go a little faster. I'm gonna try to get a no slide. All right, we got that. Let's get a no slide. Come on. Oh, that was ugly. For this point, I'm gonna be ironic and do only ollies and kickflips in front of the camera, because this point is ollies and kickflips can wait. You don't have to just practice ollies and kickflips. All right, we're going butt angle with this kickflip. Oh, that was horrible. I see so many people trying to learn how to skateboard. Oh, that was a decent one. I see so many people trying to learn how to skateboard, and they get very obsessed with ollieing and kickflipping. So this goes to the same point as riding around a lot. There's so much more you can do on a skateboard than just ollie and kickflip. No complies. Stuff on a curb. I could literally, I'm gonna do a slow slappy nose slide here, really, really slow. I could learn to come up to this curb and just do a slow little nose slide, although I stuck so much there. Or even nose stalls. And I don't have to learn how to ollie to do that. It's a simple lift the nose up just a little bit and then come out. Learning stuff like that before you learn to ollie, I don't know why people don't spend more time doing that, and I think it's because the ollie is so sick, and it's the foundation of every skateboard trick, and honestly, it feels magical to like watch your board, to be able to lift your board off the ground. It feels like exciting, it feels magical, so I get it, but there's so much you can learn before you master those that I think you could argue would actually make you a little bit of a better skater. You should learn them. Like I said, they're the foundation of every trick. You should absolutely learn how to ollie, how to kickflip. But And especially ollie, you really need to learn and get a good ollie, but it doesn't need to come right away at the expense of getting comfortable on the board, at the expense of having fun, honestly. Spending months and months and months just sitting statically trying to learn an ollie is not as fun as cruising around, and not as fun as learning things like even that little nose slide that I just did a minute ago. So, ollies and kickflips, they can wait. This one I'm about to say, I would argue, might be the most important tip that I'm going to give in this entire video. And it's don't compare yourself to other people. Possibly the hardest tip, possibly the hardest advice that I could give you, because it's human nature to compare to other skaters, to compare to other people. But it will come at a cost if you're constantly comparing yourself to others, because no matter where you go to skateboard, there is always going to be someone better than you, and likely always going to be a lot of people better than you. But let's talk about why you should not compare yourself to others. And I'm going to skate this good old curb while we talk about comparison and how it can hurt us as skaters. So there's a few reasons. One, like I said, there's always going to be someone better than you. Oh. When I started skating again as an adult, I really found that to be true. I would go to the skate park, I would see, people who could kickflip and heel flip comfortably, and I felt weird being around them and like not being able to even ollie comfortably or do shove-its. That comparison can definitely like freeze you up. It can keep you from going to skate parks. It can keep you from trying to make skateboarding friends. And it can slow down your progression even by constantly comparing yourself to others. Should I try board slide or nose slide? I haven't really gotten a clean nose slide, so let's do that. You know I love nose slides. Yikes. Came out of that horribly. Yeah, so comparison to others can be just, it can really make you feel down, because there's, like I said, and skateboarding is tricky because it's different than a lot of other sports where, like I said at the beginning, a lot of people gave up skateboarding for life stuff. Maybe they had kids, maybe they got married, maybe they've had some injuries. I had a herniated disc that took me off the board for 2 years. Everybody's progression level is going to be different. Everybody's time spent on the board is going to be different. I'm a teacher. I get summers off. I get like essentially 2 months that I can skate with almost a completely open schedule. There's other people that get like 10 vacation days all year. So my progression during the summers is probably going to look different than them. So board slide. I find board slides on curbs to actually be pretty tricky because you have to be fast with your feet to come out of it. There's other people, there was a time where I was teaching full time and working on getting my master's degree. And I literally would leave for work at 6:15 a.m. and I'd get home at 10 p.m. If you do the math, that only barely leaves 8 hours to grab a little food and then fall asleep. There was no time to skateboard. So my progression was obviously very slow during that period of time. So to compare yourself is just totally unfair to yourself. And it doesn't take into consideration all the other people's, time that they have in their life to skate and do those things. So don't compare yourself. It's not worth it. Oh! I really stuck on that one. So my next point is find friends to skate with. Specifically, find a few friends and be comfortable skating with people that are better than you. It can be really helpful. And I kind of, I feel, I don't know what the word is. I feel kind of just like kind of sad or stuck bringing this point up because I moved here to Asheville and have lived here a little less than a year. And I have not really found friends to skate with. I've not really found people or a community to skate with. And I had a really strong community of friends to skate with in Brooklyn. My wife and I are talking about potentially moving back to Brooklyn. Finding friends to skateboard with can be so valuable. And I'm going to tell you why and tell you about that as I do some flat ground. I'm going to do all tricks, like I said, that I don't feel comfortable doing. Let's start with the switch ollie. I hate skating switch. Oh, that wasn't horrible though. I think my switch is getting a little better. So yeah, finding friends to skate with. Number one, it helps with not being out here alone by yourself all the time. Number two, the biggest thing is, let's do nollie. People see things that you're doing wrong in your tricks and give helpful tips and helpful advice all the time. You know, they say practice doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent. Well, if I came out here alone and I'm doing my kickflips wrong constantly and I don't have anybody telling me, hey Jack, you're doing this incorrectly. Maybe try moving your foot this way. You're kicking down, blah, 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 blah. You can be creating habits and making them really permanent, and no one is there to kind of give you any advice or really coach you along. So I got a buddy. Let me try a front shove. That's one that I hate doing. Oh, I would have flipped out if that was first try. I had a crew of guys that I skated with every Sunday morning in Brooklyn. One of the guys in his 40s, shout out Sean. Maybe I'll see if he'll let me put a clip in of a sick board slide he did. Let's go! Sean is just a sick skater. He is so smooth on the board. He's definitely one of those who has stayed on his board all through his adult days. And skating with him for a couple years was so fun because he's so talented. Number one, him landing stuff that I could never dream of landing would get me so hyped. But he also gave me so many tips and so much advice that I think really strengthened and built up my skateboarding. So find a group of friends if it's possible. Everybody's situation is different. Like, I moved to Asheville here. I teach full time. I go to the skate parks and I try to meet people, but I have had not much success. But I actively try, or I try to socialize with people at the skate park. And I think that's a big thing is, like, even though I haven't made friends or close connections with to skate with regularly, I at least go to the skate park and like talk to people and they can give me tips and advice while I'm skating. So it's not like I'm always skating alone like you see in these videos. It's just easier to make videos while you're skating alone. I'm rambling. So yeah, making a group of friends, if possible. Everybody's situation's different. Oh! And that group of friends I had in Brooklyn, we had people newer to skateboarding than me, and we also had people who had been skateboarding a lot longer. We had one guy who hadn't touched a skateboard for well over a decade, but he used to be pretty good at skating. And then we had, just a whole range of talents, and we were able to really support each other and help each other and teach each other, and it was a lot of fun. So shout out to the Brooklyn skate crew. I'm gonna fully commit on this one. Fully committing for you. For all the haters out there. Just kidding. Oh! Oh, we got that. Kind of. All right, the next important point is you are not going to be amazing at skating. You are not going to be on the level of what you see some other people skating. So, again, this is kind of like the thesis of this YouTube channel. Actually being average at skating, or what I feel is average. Oh, I'm not trying to call out any. Let me grab the board. Oh, any other YouTube channels by name, but there are two channels that I've watched recently. Now, both of them are skateboarders who I feel from watching their videos. Skateboarders who have, I didn't wax the side earlier, that might be some of the issue. Skateboarders who never really stopped skating since they were kids. One of them I watched do a massive 360 flip on a hip. I watched do like just some insanely sick tricks. And they called themselves average. And I think it does a little bit of a disservice to normal people in the skating community to see that and to see the word average attached to it and think to themselves, wow, if that is average, what am I? You're watching these YouTube videos. Maybe you're going out and you're filming yourself a little bit and you're watching yourself kind of stumble and wobble on the skateboard. And then you're watching that person call themselves average. It can be real defeating. And maybe there's honestly probably, again, second time in this video, I'm probably sounding like a hypocrite, but there's probably people that are going to say, I'm not average. And maybe average is different for everybody. Everybody's understanding of average is different. But, so if you're watching my video and you think that I am either A, a horrible skater, or B, if you think I am so good and so comfortable on the board and it's discouraging you from skating, I'm really sorry about that. I hope that's not the case. I think that's kind of the point of this video is don't compare yourself. But this single point is you are not going to be awesome at skateboarding, and that is okay. It is okay that you are never going to be amazing at skateboarding. Oh, that's sliding better. There's a philosopher, I guess, or I don't know. He's talked about a lot in education. I told you earlier I'm a teacher. He's talked a lot in education. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. And he talks about this theory of flow. I'm going to put a chart into this video, and I might make a longer video later on talking about this. But the flow state, a TLDR version of what flow is being in that happy medium between being challenged and being uncomfortable. So right now, I'm at kind of like a middle average level of skateboarding ability. Doing a 50-50 right here, backside 50-50 slappy grind is challenging to me. It's something I don't feel great at, but I feel close to being able to get it. So I start to get in a flow state as I lock in trying to get the trick. If I was to go and try to skate and do a kickflip down a 6 stair, that would be so far out of my comfort zone that I would be feeling anxious. Oh, I would be feeling anxious. I'd be feeling scared. I'd be feeling nervous that I was going to crack some bones. And I think that's why, with my point of you are never going to be the most amazing skater in the world, I think that's why skateboarding is still fun when you are not amazing at it. That's why I picked it up as an adult, and why I've loved it so much is how much it has challenged me and how much it puts me in that flow state of feeling uncomfortable, but not too uncomfortable, feeling challenged, but not too challenged. Yeah, just skateboarding is really great for getting you into that flow state. My final point, I'm gonna sound like Nike, just do it. Just get started. Like, go right now today and find a board if you don't have a board already. If you don't have one already. If you are thinking about skating, there's a reason you're thinking about skating. There's a reason that you're watching this video and still watching me yap and ramble and talk nonsense for however long this video ends up being. It's because you want to do it. Skating's cool. It's fun. It challenges you. You might fall. You might get a little bit hurt. And I think a lot of adults are scared of that. It's okay. Like, we can't live our lives in bubble wrap, right? It's okay if we fall. It's okay if we get hurt. You know, driving in a car is more dangerous a lot of times than doing this. And we do that every single day. Whatever it is that's keeping you from skateboarding, not wanting to look like a beginner. Everyone looked like a beginner at some point. If I see somebody in their 40s or 30s trying to skateboard, my age or older, who looks like a beginner on the skateboard, it gets me hyped. It gets me so hyped. So throw that aside. Don't be scared of looking like a fool, because we all look like fools at times. And I think skateboarding does help you get a little bit comfortable with that. Also, injury, it's not as big a deal. Oh. You know, don't let those fears keep you from doing what could be your favorite hobby. Could be something that keeps you healthy, keeps you in shape. Something that helps you make more adult friends with people who are cool, who have good. A lot of people in skateboarding are cool and they just are good vibes. And yeah, go meet people that are cool. Yeah, so just get started. Like I said, if you're thinking about getting into skating, just start. Just pick up a skateboard. Just do it. It's fun. Not trying to sound too much like a Nike slogan, but if you have any questions about getting started as a skater, especially adults, like that's kind of the audience I'm targeting with this video, is you know, people who maybe skated when they're younger, or people who are thinking about skating for the first time as an adult. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I am happy to answer them. For the rest of the session, I'm just gonna skate and maybe talk a lot less. Stop yapping, Jack. Stop yapping. I got like one trick on it and I still love it. Curb tricks look sick when you're good at them, unlike me. You're about to see the prettiest nose slide that has ever existed on YouTube. Alright, let's edit out that miss. So now it looks like I actually made it first try. I think that's worth a subscription. subscribe to the channel because you just got to see the best nose slide that's ever been done on the internet. Subscribe.